Hello, fellow agents of Infinity, and welcome back to the It's Nothing Personal podcast, the podcast where I attempt to turn random conversations with average everyday people into moments of extraordinary vulnerability, insight, and connection. I am your host, Mason Robin. I would like to give a big thank you to everyone who is listening to these early episodes. I am very much still working out the concept and vision for this project, and if you've been listening, it has probably become clear I also have some things to work out with my recording and editing process. Hang tight. I promise I am working on it. For now, mostly because subtitles do seem somewhat unnecessary, and also because the work of editing them in to meet my own personal standards takes forever, I am going to stick with only releasing audio unless I record a planned episode with a special guest. That should allow me to reliably release 1 to 2 new episodes every week. The problem so far has been I have too many conversations I feel are worth sharing to possibly keep up with, which I would say is a good problem to have, all things considered. Anyway, the goal is to release new episodes every Wednesday and Saturday, so you guys can look forward to seeing that from me soon. Now, into the details for this week's episode. But first, I would like to make a correction on something I said in this week's episode. I mentioned a book. The name of that book is actually The Two-Parent Privilege: How Americans Stopped Getting Married and Started Falling Behind. It is by economist Melissa Kearney. She is saying a lot of great things recently that I think are worth us listening to and are worth us normalizing as part of the conversations we are having. It's important stuff. Feel free to check her out. In this episode, I speak with an outstanding young woman who, while ferociously committed to the grindset, which will likely grant her an abundant, free, comfortable future, while being the rock for her family, for her many brothers and sisters, despite being a distinguished source of light, knowing herself and commanding emotional intelligence extremely well, she is somehow struggling in the present to identify genuine opportunities for connection with the type of man she could confidently invite into her life as an equal partner and comrade. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hi.
How are you?
Is that your car up there?
No, it's his. I drove that. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I shut the door.
You drove that?
Yeah, I drove that from Bertha to here because
Why?
he has that Lambo too, and it needs work. So I had to drive.
Is that like your boyfriend or something?
No, we work together.
Oh, and he's letting you drive his car?
Yeah, there's a lot of trust.
The fuck does he do?
He has his wife could have drove. He didn't want her to.
No, I'm asking what he does. This man's got these
He's
luxury cars.
He's a financial advisor, but he helps people become their own bank and get cars like that. And
okay, sounds like a good guy to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has his days.
Does he have a business card?
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
No, you should do a Zoom with him.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people will schedule a Zoom.
You said you work with him?
Yep. So I have my financial advising license. I'm also a realtor, so we're kind of like business partners.
Gotcha.
With some stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun driving that car.
Yeah, did you cut up a little bit?
Well, I had to follow behind him, but I.
Oh, he drove the Lambo,
and I was in the McLaren. I was behind him.
So you didn't just drive here by yourself from? Okay.
I know, and I had to go slow because he was shitting himself though. He was so terrified that I was driving. I was like, dude, you're fine.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, it was fun though.
If he really wanted to be terrified, he should have let you lead.
Yeah,
Let you go in
literally.
front. Are you turning here, buddy? So make sure.
Whipped it. I wanted to.
No, of course you can't. You can't get in a car like that and not want
literally,
to. You know, you like to get in a car like that and not open it up is like kind of an insult to driving the car at all. You know, it's like, fuck. Let's go to the test track first.
Yeah, literally. It would be fire. Yeah.
I've never driven a car like that before, but yeah. How did it feel? Did you feel powerful? Yeah,
I did. I low-key, I wanted to roll my windows down so everyone could see me, you know? That's bad. That's
let your hair flow.
Yeah, exactly. They see a woman driving a McLaren. Yeah. It was fun.
Oh, man. Humans and their status symbols.
I need to humble myself.
No, you know, it's imbibing is a little it's okay sometimes, you know, just is that the right word? Imbibing? Now I have to fucking look it up. I indulge definitely would have been the right word, but I feel like imbibe is something you do for someone else. I write a bit, so I'm I can't if I use words. He imbibed great quantities of ice to absorb or soak up, blah 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 blah. No, that's a different word. Okay, yeah. I just said something that didn't make any sense.
That's okay, I wouldn't know.
But I know.
You know deep down. I bet you make good money doing Uber.
I don't have a Lamborghini, but I'm okay, I'm getting by.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable, which
yeah, I feel like you can make...
If you want to open up a philosophical discussion about whether there's any utility in comfort.
Are you comfortable?
Wait, what?
I feel like Uber drivers, I saw this thing where they make 6 figures.
If you want to make... Okay, first of all, you can do 6 figures in revenue.
Okay, yeah.
Right? It's it's pretty easy to do 6 figures in revenue.
For your gas, at least?
Hell no.
Fuckers.
But I mean, I get 50. Actually, I don't know what the numbers are this year. Yeah. But last year it was 58.6 cents per mile that I got to claim off of my taxable income.
That's nice.
So it's okay, if I do 50,000 miles in a year, that's a $27,000 bump off of my taxable income. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Plus I don't know if it's still 12.5 for single self-employed, but you don't know that? Shouldn't you know that? Then you... I thought you did. I thought you were a financial advisor.
Dude. That's taxes, and I don't do that shit.
Yeah, I just met a girl who's a CPA.
Yeah, CPAs is where it's at for that stuff. I'm I don't know.
Yeah. She said she might help me with my taxes, but I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about that. I can do my own taxes and handle all my own financial records.
It fucking sucks doing your own. The first year I was a realtor, I was I can do it on my own, whatever. No.
You mean your first year with 1099 pay?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a doozy. My thing is, I've been an idiot, and so it's now I have all of 2022's records and all of 2023's records to account for, that it's just I haven't integrated a regular practice of keeping all that organized and cataloged and shit. And so if you stay on top of it, it's fucking easy. If you don't stay on top of it, it just turns into a mountain of fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So
seriously.
Yeah, it's such drudgery to just sit down and sort through thousands of receipts and yeah. You got a phone call? Who's talking? I think this girl really likes Taylor Swift. Oh. Do you mind if I use my vape while you're in here?
Yes, you can hit your vape.
I wasn't sure if you caught that.
I definitely did, and yes, you can. I am this thing. I have this, but it's on the verge, it's disgusting, so I can't hit it. It tastes like crunch, burnt, fucking.
That sucks.
Yeah. But
you can mind if you want.
I just might.
I've got 2 of them.
What flavors? Can I try them both? I'll wipe them off, don't worry.
I don't care.
I don't either, but...
Yeah. Do you have, like, mouth herpes that's active right now? Do you have a...
I've
do
never
you have a cold sore flare-up?
Never before.
Okay. So then I'm not worried. I don't either.
That one's yummy. Let me try this one.
Who's that, the...
Orange one.
Yeah, I like that one. I really like that one. That one's good.
That one was yummy, too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, you could just, like, hang on to it, like, whichever one.
I would hang on.
Like I said, I have 2. So, like, if you want one back there, we're gonna be in here an hour.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, that's
okay,
what...
I'll take one for the road.
You pick one. I don't
No,
care.
you pick... Give me your least favorite.
Here.
Okay.
I actually like that one more, but... It's whatever.
You're my favorite Uber driver.
I get that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
You get good tips?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tip you good. I bet you get good tips.
You know, it's like I was telling my guy Mo at the gas station. It's like, look, man, because I just bought the icebreakers. I keep the amenities stocked, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, dude, it's the small things. It's the simple things, like just like literally water and breath mints, and people think you're extraordinary.
No.
And like seriously, and I'm like,
that's so sad.
It's though. No, it is. It just speaks to like how far the bar has fallen. For exceptional service.
That's like dating too. Like the bar is so low these days.
You know what? No, so I was thinking about this. It's like, okay, I think part of the problem is, well, okay, there's a lot of fucking problems.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of fucking problems with the dating world, right? But like, okay, I was talking with a gentleman last night, and like, okay, so it's kind of puzzling to look at the dating market in Denver for women, and like, 'cause I know a lot of women. Do you live up there? Do you live up there?
I live in northern Colorado.
Okay, but like, let's just say specifically in Denver, because I don't know what it's like out there. But in Denver, there are a disproportionate amount of single men. There are more cocks out here than women need. There just are, right?
Yeah.
Like there's too many to go around. So like there's a shortage of women. But what that does is it puts women in a position where like they are more so in control of the conditions of the dating market. They're the ones who are setting the standard. It's a buyer's market for them, right? So it's kind of puzzling in that way, like, why is it that women who are like reasonably well put together, reasonably like attractive, like not hideous, you know what I mean? Like where you would assume, especially if they're using dating apps, that they just have more opportunity at their fingertips than they could ever hope to capitalize on, and yet they're still having trouble, right? Like that's a puzzling thing, right?
I think it's hard because men now I feel like are a lot more feminine than they were before. Like I don't know, at least for what I've seen, and maybe I'm just very like masculine for the average male, but I've seen that.
You seem feminine. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, I feel like in like
you mean characteristically, like the behaviorally?
Like, obviously, looks-wise, I'm very feminine, but personality-wise, it's hard to find someone who's more like dominant and. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think that's a consequence of the culture, man.
Yeah.
Like there's so much of our culture that just devalues men and, devalues healthy masculinity.
Yeah.
And, well, it really, okay. So, like, we have this concept of toxic masculinity that's become really pervasive, right? And there's something to be said for that, but while everyone is complaining about the nature and like impacts of toxic masculinity, where are the people who are teaching us how to grow into a healthy sense of masculinity?
Yeah.
Like, where is that? Where are the fucking sages? I feel like
it's like
the
fathers too. Like, I feel like a lot of men have shitty ass dads,
or absent dads, right?
Have you seen the stats on that now?
On fatherlessness?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen all of the people who are outraged about people who care about the fatherlessness problem? Where it's like, there's a book that came out recently called The Two-Parent Advantage. I haven't read it, but that girl, the woman who wrote that, she got a lot of flack for it because like there's this large movement. I would suppose it's more so in the feminist community, like basically
anti-natalism, right? Like, don't become a domestic prostitute. Like, we don't need men, you know, like, don't have kids, don't have a husband, like, be a boss bitch. And like, look, okay, look, but if you want to be that person, more power to you.
Yeah.
But like, remove yourself from the equation.
Yeah.
Don't talk about dating.
Literally.
Like, don't try to impress upon other people what their values should be, because you're just kind of, what's the word for it? I can't fucking think of it.
Mark, what's next?
Yeah,
hello? Sup?
Oh.
Hey, love you, bye.
Dogmatic. Dogmatic was the word I was looking for.
Dogmatic?
Dogmatic, like dogma. Like religious dogma. Yeah. So I think a lot of these belief systems have become really dogmatic in their application. And it's just like, it allows so little room for like flexibility and nuance.
Yeah.
You know, and navigating these situations. And it's like I said, if you want to be a boss bitch who doesn't need a fucking man and do it on her, yeah, fucking do it. But like, don't participate in any discussions about dating.
Yeah, literally.
Ever. Just don't, because like, you're not the person who was trying to form a cooperative, secure partnership with a man. You're just not. So like, if you're not, and I really hate too, where it's like, I've seen a lot of evidence for it, but I've had people tell me directly, like, oh, I'm a woman who has like put so much energy into women's empowerment and this and that. And like, or a guy is like, I'm on team guy, I'm on team bro. And I'm like, y'all are missing the fucking point. Like, I'm on team every fucking one. Yeah. Like, I'm on team, let's work together.
That are like, women and men. Like, both genders are shitty. Like, that's just a shitty person. Like, anyone can be shitty. And I feel like the two genders try to be like, oh, that gender's shitty.
They're just playing the blame game. Just a blame game. That's it. You know, this. Oh, okay. So like, look, I want to see what you think about this. It's a bit for you to read, I think. Well, it's not that much. But wait, I'm going to disconnect my Bluetooth, because there's this thing I saw on Instagram, and there's this guy I follow. His tag is the Q pill. And like, sometimes he says some things and I'm like, that's solid. But then he says things like what he said today on one of his posts, is basically, it's him like on a podcast, which I want to circle back around to what the hell you were doing on a podcast later. But, he's basically saying like, you know, like, as a man, I don't want my woman going out to like the clubs and bars and stuff and partying and like, you know, indulging in alcohol and that kind of stuff when I'm not around. Because like, you know, women will say, and this, I'm just repeating what he said. It's like, women will say, you know, like, oh, you know, like, I'm in control of myself. Nothing's going to happen, whatever. And then, but they don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And like, that's how a lot of guys end up getting cheated on. And I'm like, well, and so his policy is, you're not allowed to do that. And he was kind of making a comment on how so many women claim that's controlling, and he disagrees, but I do agree. I think that is controlling. But like, here's what I said, and I just want to see what you think about this. Do you know how to pause an Instagram story? You just like hold down. Yeah. So, well, I don't want to add a story.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like that's just a boundary that he has, and if a woman accepts that and is like, that's fine, then cool. But I feel like a lot of women wouldn't.
I think it's an unreasonable boundary, though. Yeah. I think it's a low, like a low effort answer. I think it's a low effort answer, and it is controlling. So like this is the one of him speaking. Can I turn off my fucking Bluetooth? I promise I'm like 95% on the road right now.
Focus. I'm not.
Okay.
You do you.
Okay, here. Just don't report me for like having my phone. You got it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay. So it's like 4 slides. But this is what he says. And like, for the ones you need to read, you just pause them or go back or whatever. But I just want your impression on like that answer. That's a different thing, but
I agree. I think like if you don't allow something, you just simply don't trust them. If you think they're gonna cheat, shouldn't be with them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my thing. Yeah. It's like, if you don't trust them, why the fuck are you with them?
Yeah.
If you have to impose that kind of control to be comfortable, first of all, it is insecurity. Whether or not, like, that guy can't admit it to himself, but it is insecurity.
Yeah,
and it's a lack of trust.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you rather? So my thing is like, okay, you will reveal yourself to me through your behavior without me having to control for anything. I don't have to control for a damn thing. Your behavior will tell me what I need to know.
Yeah.
Period. And like, look, I'm about to be 30. It's taken me a long time. I've been on some sad boy shit for a long time. I really have.
Oh, yeah, when you get hurt.
I've been single for 13 years too.
Yeah.
And I've almost exclusively been hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just like, yeah, pulling self-esteem and then like reason and wisdom out of that it's been a lot. But anyway, the point is, it's like, I'm there too. It's like, why put yourself in a position where you have to exercise and maintain this type of control to be comfortable in your relationship?
No, for sure.
Because then it's not like, where's the freedom in that relationship for either of you?
Yeah. Yeah, because when you think about it, if you want to be in a long-term relationship that's like 5, 10, 20 years, you have to be able to do what makes you happy, or you're not going to be happy in the relationship.
Right. And you just won't want to be there. And I think that might be the type of thing that leads a lot of girls to cheat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, also, like, I don't think cheating is ever the answer. And I think we might have, like, not the best concept culturally of what cheating is. Let me ask you that. What do you consider cheating?
I feel like that's a really, like, controversial, like, question.
It's just, you're never gonna meet me again.
But,
you're not gonna offend me.
I mean, but I don't know. Obviously, like, that's hard.
Here's my thing. I
get social media now, so it's like, some people think that, like, if you're in a relationship and you, like, hit on someone through social media isn't cheating. Some people think it is. I think it depends, I guess, on what, I don't know. I feel like majority of cheating happens on social media now, or it starts that way.
That still doesn't define cheating. I've got a very simple definition that I've landed on. It's very easy. Okay, so first of all, this kind of starts with, like, where are your expectations, or what are your expectations, right?
Yeah.
And when are expectations justified? And for me, expectations are justified and appropriate when an agreement has been made. Yeah. You've sat down, you've had a conversation, you've fleshed something out, you've made a commitment to one another, an agreement with one another for whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because that's where expectations come in. And they're fine with that, but then they have boundaries around that where it's like, you can't do it without me, or this and this and that. And that's fine. That fits their relationship. So yeah, I totally get that.
You set the parameters of the relationship, right? You define the boundaries, and you set expectations based on that agreement. Cheating is violating the agreement.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah. That's really good definition.
Yeah. If you haven't made an exclusive agreement, cheating doesn't exist.
Yeah, true.
Like, none of that is implied in our world, because there are so many different ways that people operate in their relationships in general and in their romantic relationships. So you don't get to just walk in and impose your standards on someone without talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't expect other people to just naturally hold the same standards you do. Like, you have to sit down and talk about it and agree on it. Yeah. And then cheating becomes a thing where it's like, all right, we have an agreement. And if you violate that agreement, to me, that's cheating. But until there is an agreement, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
That's where I agree.
But I do think that simplifies it a lot. Like, that kind of clears it up. Because I do think we do this weird... Are you getting a phone call? Yeah.
Hey, how are you? else called me?
Busy, huh?
Hey, I'm getting a call. I'll call you if I need anything else. Okay. Okay, bye. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Yep, bye-bye. I do not like that bitch. The one I was just talking to. She's a fucking bitch.
Oh my god.
Seriously, like, I don't fuck with her at all.
Wow.
I'm very business, but, like, it's seriously, like, I don't.
Jeez.
Okay, I promise I just have to make one more call, and then we can...
That's okay. It's alright, do your thing, jeez.
Yeah, I'm fucking busy, huh?
You're popular. Oh,
God,
in
yeah,
high
I really
demand
hate
over
that
here.
bitch, so she called my client before she called me. That's what he said on the phone.
Is
He's
that
like,
weird?
yeah, because
okay.
she's, yeah, it's, anyway, she's a bitch. Back to my mom.
You're killing me.
Sorry.
You're good.
But this guy's
This is all business.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you have a good day. Let me know if you need anything when you're doing that. Okay, cool. Yep, bye. It's just so sucking, you know. All these calls, like, draining my soul.
Hey, you sound like you're enjoying it.
That's fakeness.
That's fakeness?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, you do it well.
Fake it till you make it.
Shit. You seem pretty anti-establishment.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, do these things to get the most money from them. Don't let them know how risky your behavior is.
Yeah.
It might not be legal for you to give me part of for me to give you part of.
Fuck the company. I always help the clients. Like, the company can fuck off.
That's how you build good relationships with people.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm like, don't put that.
Now, what was that other one? You're gonna get the commission for what? A home sell?
It's hard because I literally have 2 jobs where I'm both business. I get confused. Yeah, that one, I'm under contract on a house for a buyer. He's a really close friend of mine.
Is that normal for you, just to be that busy on the phone? Yeah.
Yeah. I would like, yeah, it is.
That face, you were just like, oh, yes. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it is.
And then right after this, I'm barely gonna make it in time. I'm going to look at a triplex, like, it's for a flip, like a remodel with one of my friend business people. Because he needs help with the design, and I'm like, let me help you.
You just do everything, huh?
I know, I'm tired. I go smoke some weed and go to bed.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Don't do it.
Did you wake up at 4? Like, what?
No, today I slept in. I stayed up late last night working till like 10, so I slept in till like 7.
7 a.m. is sleeping in? Jeez. You are hustling, girl. You need a break. Take a fucking sabbatical.
Yeah,
jeez. Like, go backpacking in Europe or something.
I know. Oh, I want to do that so bad. That's actually on my bucket.
I've never done that one. No. For me, well, actually, never mind. I was going to ask to see your hand and then ask you what your skincare was like, if your skin was nice. But, yes, it is. But also, because I was looking at my hand and I'm like, bro, this needs work.
Like, because it's just so dry.
Well, I have been applying lotion like every other day.
Yeah.
But I just realized, like, as I was having this conversation with myself about my hand, I do this, and then do everywhere else in my body, but I never do this.
That makes
I
sense.
never do it on top of my hands. So it's like, it's no fucking wonder.
I just have like soft skin. Sometimes I'll wear it on like my legs. My legs are a bit dry sometimes, but I'll never put it on like, I don't know.
What do you wash your skin with? And do you take hot showers or just like what? Yeah, hot showers.
Burning hot, like.
So you're a normal woman as far as that's concerned.
It's like hot, like I get out and my body's
steaming.
red.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I use it's from Victoria's Secret, and then I have one, the Tree Hut, but they both have those like little like ball things in them. Yeah. So it's like a exfoliant thing.
Okay.
So I think that's nice. It makes my skin really smooth. So
yeah. So we're gonna backtrack. What's your general opinion on like? Do you date? Or are you like? Are you seeing someone? Like, what's
I don't like casually date. No, but I did go on a date yesterday.
What do you mean when you say you don't casually?
Like, I never go on dates. I never talk to anyone. I will never go on a date with someone that I meet through social media. I only will go on a date with someone I meet.
Like, that's just a rule for yourself. Mm-hmm. You won't do that. Won't.
Why? I don't know. You're
just like, does it just give you the ick, the idea of it? Like,
I feel like, I mean, this is just an opinion, but I feel like when you meet someone through social media, it's like, you don't know if it's just like a hookup or not, and I never do
you can always ask.
Yeah, true, but I don't know.
But like, what guy is gonna have the concept of his own intentions well enough to communicate them and be honest about it?
Exactly. So, I don't know. I just always will.
You just suss it out in person?
Yeah. Organically, I'm like.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't think it's a rule, but it's just what I do. Like, just.
I honestly do. I think it's. I don't do dating apps anymore.
Yeah.
I just think they're, first of all, toxic as hell. I think it's a big part of the problem with our dating culture. Like, there's always the next thing, right? It's made it so easy to just have minimal investment with no consequence. Mm-hmm. And that's not natural for our species to have that little of an investment in the people that we're trying to form relationships with. It's just not. It's not natural. Yeah. I don't think it's good for us.
Yeah, I don't know. I think dating apps and the culture now too is just hookups. Like, even like I don't know. That's just what I've heard, what I've seen. I wouldn't know, but it's just what I hear all the time.
I actually heard a very interesting thing. You know who Trevor Noah is, right?
No.
Daily Show, Trevor Noah. He's like I guess he's like half like, anyway. No, this guy, if you saw a picture, just look up Trevor Noah real quick. Okay. If you saw a picture of him, you're like, oh, I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, when I see faces, I know, but I don't know names.
I'm usually really, really bad at names.
Trevor Noah.
Yeah. You would probably, I'd be astounded if you don't recognize this guy. Let me see. Yeah, it's Trevor Noah. You don't know Trevor Noah?
I don't think so.
Where the fucking planet are you from?
What does he do? Like,
he's a talk show host.
Oh yeah, I don't really watch things like that.
But he's just like, he's famous as fuck.
Okay.
You know, he's just like, and he has been for years. You know, this isn't someone who like just came onto the scene. Like, he had a Comedy Central, like a late night Comedy Central show. He's like in the same, like Stephen Colbert, the Colbert Report. Do you remember that one? No?
Sorry, I'm crushing you.
Do you know who, what's the other guy, the older guy, something Anderson, anyway, whatever, I'm gonna get lost in the fucking weeds on that. But, anyway, this guy, Trevor Noah, he was talking about, and I don't like listen to a bunch of his content, I was just like doom scrolling and something popped up, right?
Yeah.
And at first, it seemed like he was about to say something, demeaning or overly critical of men and their behavior. But he was kind of talking about hookup culture and saying how like so many men are like involved in that and like women too, but, well, the thing he was saying is like, this is where he started. It was like that a lot of men seem to have an unbalanced expectation of how much sex they would be having in a relationship.
Oh my god, yeah. So true.
Right? I mean, like, I don't personally know because I've been single for so long. Like, I just spent all of my 20s single.
Do you go out though? Like, do you?
I do a bad job of that.
Okay,
but
so,
it's.
But you're social. You seem very social. In a certain point, I'm easy to talk to. I feel like that too.
People tell me that too.
Oh.
But I've worked to cultivate that energy, and like also to me, it's usually. Depending on the context, like this is just very free flowing. It's easy. Like we're just having a normal conversation. We're both adults. Yeah. Some people are very touchy about certain things, but to
like
me,
sensitive.
Yeah.
God, yeah, that's really this generation.
The people just get upset.
Yeah, so true.
Everyone is like so ready to be triggered.
They're big old fucking crybabies.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, it's true though. Like they really are.
Well, yes and no. Where it's like. I agree with that, but at the same time, they haven't been taught better.
True.
You know, so it's like, I try not to blame that predisposition on young people because we've just inherited strategies and attitudes from the people who raised us. You know, and it's not really their fault either because I do think most of our parents and like the adults we had as examples in our lives, I think they did the best they could with what they had. They just had bad tools for dealing with what the environment has become.
Yeah, I had a terrible childhood, so I think sometimes I like expect people to be as like emotionally intelligent and knowledgeable as me, but then I have to realize like that is not like you can't set your own standards to other people. So I think that's what I'm like, because I had a terrible childhood.
Yeah.
Terrible. So
tell me about that.
It's like my.
That's okay. I mean, maybe you'll make it on the podcast.
Telling a stranger.
No, I do a podcast. Trauma. Yeah. That's exactly what I want on my podcast.
My brother, he's 7 years older than me. He just got out of federal prison actually, and he would beat the shit out of my sister and I. Our whole childhood, like, really bad. And my mom was a single mom, so she had 3 jobs, so she was gone 24/7. And, yeah, that's pretty much just the skim of it. But, yeah, like...
Okay. I would be interested to talk more about that.
Yeah, it was...
I won't press you for too much right now.
I don't, like, now I'm not I don't put myself in a victim position like a lot of people do, so they're still really sensitive about it. They're like, oh, this happened to me, cry, but I'm just not like that. I don't know. So it doesn't.
But it seems like you've found your own sense of strength through that. You've probably found boundaries, and like you seem like you're in a position where you're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself, and you don't need to rely on other people for things.
Yeah,
so it's like,
sucks though. Like, I have 9 siblings, and I'm middle kind of, but 5 of them are older, and I take care of everything. I handle everything for everyone. I'll help them in every way.
Do you set boundaries with them?
Not really.
Do you feel like you deserve to set boundaries?
Yeah, but I probably never will, just because I look at myself as like, I will take care of, I don't know, I want to.
Do you feel a sense of responsibility?
Yeah. But then at the end of the day, no one, like, I do that for myself. So it's just hard sometimes not having anyone who I can rely, trust on.
You don't have a support system out here?
All my siblings are here, but I'm their support system.
Right, but I mean, like, you don't have good friends, or like...
Oh yeah, I do, definitely, like...
What about the guy with the Lambo?
Yeah, he's a really close friend.
And the McLaren.
Yeah, he has 2 Lambos, a McLaren, a G-Wagon,
he seems like he's well put together.
What are they called? A Bentley. I forgot what they're. Yeah, it's like 10 cars. I'm like, listen, if I wreck the McLaren.
Here's a question though. Do you feel like, okay, so you feel this sense of responsibility to take care of the members of your family. Do you think that's something that you actually decided on for yourself, or is it more of like, I guess part of the culture of your family? I
don't think on it at all. I just do it.
You just do it?
They need something, I do it.
Do you feel pressured by it?
No.
No, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. And there's no resentment. It doesn't feel like a burden to you at all.
No, I wouldn't say that. The only time I feel negative feelings about it is when I don't have that in my life. Like, I'm like, fuck, I handle everything for everyone. But
well, how much are you giving enough to yourself?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think.
Because if you feel like you don't have enough for yourself, well, I guess, okay, let's say, like, no one functions at 100% all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and like, we have our weak moments, and I understand definitely, like, you have your weak moments too. I do. And is it more what you're saying that, like, in those moments of weakness or like overwhelm or whatever, you don't have anyone to lean on? Is that the the thing?
That's when it's hard, is when I'm like having a mental breakdown and I'm like,
and you just have to pull yourself together, and there's no one around.
But that's the only time it's hard. And typically, like, I don't go through a lot of that. Like,
yeah, but that's when it matters to have support.
Exactly.
That's like, that is specifically when it matters to have support, is when you need it. You know, otherwise, like, you're well taken care of and like you're okay without the support, but like, shit happens.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and don't get me wrong, like, I've built a lot of relationships, like, mostly business wise, but it's relationships that I. But
what about in your personal life?
I don't really have much of a personal life.
You have a personal experience, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it can't just be all business.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like I don't know, I want to retire early, so I'm kind of setting myself up for that.
You want to go backpacking in Europe.
Which is why I work so much and don't really leave time for a lot of other stuff. But
do you feel like I'm just gonna say, I think that's probably, like, that's great to, you know, pay it forward to your future self.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, like myself included, don't do that enough.
Yeah.
Don't, like, really work now for your future self. That's important. You got to.
It's hard to do too. Like,
you got to have, like, a very forward-thinking mindset, and like to be able to visualize yourself as a 40-year-old, as a 50-year-old, as a whatever, a 60-year-old, you know, as a person who's going to have needs that you now are responsible for creating the conditions that those needs can get met.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just hear the things I say and I'm like, wow, I sound so smart.
I think you need humble.
No, trust me, I've had a lot of self-esteem issues.
Just kidding.
I'm pretty, no.
Yeah, dude, life's fucking
but, so
wild.
like, so you're showing up a lot for your family. And so, like, when you have those moments of weakness, what kind of things go through your head? You know, is it ever, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, what kind of things go through your head in those moments of weakness when you don't have the support?
Fucking hate my life. Fuck this. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, connect with that.
It's anger? A lot of it's anger? Or what kind of feelings do you have? Let's put it that way.
Sadness mixed with anger, which is scary. Like, that's dangerous. When it's, like, sadness mixed with, like...
So, like, a little bit of self-pity, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe. And then, like, angry at the world for not being there to meet your needs.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen a lot. Good thing.
Do you think any resentment, maybe, like, you put so much work in and, like, you feel like you deserve to have someone there who supports you in these moments, but then you don't? And it's like, why the fuck do I put so much work in?
That's, like, the one thing that I'm not, like, connected with. Like, I don't know. It just happens, and then I'm fine, and then I live, and move on.
Do you feel like you've learned or, like, been trained to kind of disconnect from that experience?
Probably. Cause, like, I think it links back to my childhood, like, when all that shit was happening with my brother.
Mom was gone.
My mom was gone, and my dad lived far away. I never knew my dad, but we would still, like, talk on the phone sometimes, and my sister and I would call him and, like, tell him, and he, like, everyone would just say, you guys are just being sensitive. Like, they didn't know the extent of what was happening, which I totally get, whatever, boo-boo. But they, like, put that, well, they said, you're just being sensitive, that's just how brothers are, this, that, but they didn't realize how bad it was. So I think, like, it probably links up with that, I assume.
Well,
like, that's pretty shitty.
As a kid, you never had the support.
Yeah, no.
Right? And then, you know, because This is I think this is a quote from like Rocky 5 or something. Not that I've seen it, but I've just heard the quote a lot of times. And it's like, he says something about, like nothing's going to hit as hard as life, and life will knock you down. It's been sampled in music a lot. And it's like, life will knock you down, and if you let it, it'll keep you down, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that makes that easier is like when you do have the support and the people around you to help pick you back up, right?
Yeah.
But you've never had that. So like every time you've been knocked down, not only have you lacked the support, I'm just kind of like recounting to make sure I understand.
Mm-hmm.
You've not had the support, but not only that, you had people invalidate so you've been gaslit too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People invalidate what you were going through.
Like, and now it's like, I feel like I struggle the most with that with relationships, like romantic relationships, because I like have what's normal to me. Like your childhood shows you what's like normal, where you feel safe. So my thing is when it's like healthy and great, I feel uncomfortable because that's not normal to me. I feel very uncomfortable. I'm like, what's going on? Like, but then when it's extremely toxic and they're fucked up, it's like, oh, okay, this is normal. I feel safe. Like,
you feel safe because it's what you know.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
It's what you know.
So I think that's a big struggle of
because you know how to cope with that. You know how to navigate that because you learned how to navigate that your whole life.
Exactly.
Because what happened when your aunts and uncles didn't show up, when your mom wasn't there, when your dad was in a different state, you had to be the person.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure you had some type of solidarity with some of your elder siblings, maybe your sister,
My sister, yeah.
There was some solidarity there, but at the same time, it's like you were always in a position where what had to be done and what you know how to do is to pick yourself. So you don't even know how to lean on other people and how to rely on other people or trust them.
With like relationships, I do great.
Does that scare you at all to put trust in other people?
I never do.
So
except for like us, like two people maybe in my life I fully trust. But
you're pretty averse to it. Like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're kind of like maybe letting go to control a little bit too much.
Yeah, literally. Like I have to be in control with a lot of stuff. Like I don't know. I feel like it hits the hardest in romantic relationships though. Like I don't really see it ever in like business relationships, friendships, none of that. But then when a romantic relationship comes, that's when all of my like toxic things of like all that comes to the surface. And I don't know.
You're gonna make me cry. I'm serious.
I'm sorry.
Sucks. No, it's okay.
Know,
it's
hard.
okay.
It's hard because like I don't know. Like I don't know. But I mean,
crying is good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm empathizing with you.
It's healthy for sure. Yeah, it's been
that
hard.
Sucks.
It's been hard fucking.
That sucks.
But I'm good now, so.
Well, you say that, but you seem. How much of your life do you spend putting a mask on?
Steve. I don't know. I feel like.
And I don't mean your makeup.
No, yeah.
I don't mean makeup. That's your face, not your mask.
When I was like younger, I really pushed on being someone I wasn't, but now, like recently, I've really worked hard on just being me. And it's been like being authentic, being who I am. And it's given me like relationships, friendships, like stuff like that I never would have had if I wasn't just being me. So I think now I'm more of like, just I'm myself, like fuck off if you don't like it.
I'm literally growing into that right now.
Yeah, so. It is hard. It's a hard stage. But before, I was like always trying to be someone I wasn't, reflect on who was in front of me, so kind of mirror who they are. And now I'm like, nah.
Well, see, the thing that I'm gonna take this up to fucking hot, but what I decided recently, and this just is true, but I never really framed it this way. It's like, the world kind of sorts itself out around you based on how you show up in the world. And so like, I think over the course of, most of my life up until now, what's happened is the world has sorted itself around me as a reflection of the insecurities that were informing my behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not going to say like I'm 100%. My wounds haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Like I've become better acquainted with my wounds and how they show up and how they affect my thought processes and my behavior. And I'm learning how to manage that,
Like a scar. So they're scars
like
instead of open wounds now.
yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But what I would say is, it's like, as I've gradually leaned into who I am and like become more expressive and authentic in that, all of the elements of my life, including the people, and situations that I was including myself in that I had attracted because of these wounds, they just kind of crumbled away.
Yeah.
Because they weren't, like, the world didn't organize itself around me and put those things into my life through a means of my own authentic expression.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm leaning more into a mature understanding of myself and just kind of like a bold, confident expression of like whatever I need to express without worry for the consequences, I think the world is beginning to sort itself out around me in a different way as a reflection of that. And I think the things that come as a consequence will be more aligned with a better integrated, healthier version of myself.
Yeah. For sure.
Damn, I'm a wizard.
We're getting deep. It is 11 a.m. on a Thursday.
This is my bread and butter. I love this. Yeah, this is great.
We're going deep. Yeah, that's another thing. I can't do small talk. Ugh,
Me either. I hate it so much. I feel like it's so fake.
That's why I can't date too, because it's all small talk. I hate that shit. Like, ugh. I'd rather not say anything at all.
It's just so boring. It's so stale.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Did you see the abs? Be like, I don't fucking care.
Did you see the cloud outside? So pretty.
Sometimes clouds are dope as fuck.
Yeah,
though.
true.
Sometimes clouds are dope as fuck.
That's another thing. Like, when I was in my, like really, like, deep air, like, I was, like, sad and shit, I would just lay outside with sunglasses on in the summer and just stare at all the clouds on, like, a cloudy day.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, there is a vibe and a time and a place for me to be on some hippy dippy shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can do that, but most of the time, I'm like, I really appreciate this kind of conversation. I feel like this is part of the substrate of what fucking makes us human.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot of the types of communities that have been nurtured through how our culture has evolved in the modern world lacks this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of empty in that way.
Yeah.
And I don't want empty social relationships anymore. It's just like, I'm gonna be 30 in a couple weeks. I don't have time for that shit anymore.
Period. When's your birthday?
December 20th.
Nice. Yeah. It's literally coming up soon.
That's what I said, a couple weeks.
Woo!
Yeah, big 3-0. I'll be an old man soon.
Yeah, grandpa.
Nah, JK, I'm like literally on the cusp of my prime, so like.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But no, I feel good entering that phase.
Good, that's good.
I feel like there are a lot of good things on the horizon that are becoming clearer by the day.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So what is your general experience in dating? We've got 3 minutes left, but
fucking terrible.
So why? What do you mean by fucking terrible? Describe that to me.
Dude, I think well, I don't know, I guess it's always me, like, mothering a full-grown man.
In what way?
Like,
That's a very, what does that mean?
They're just, I don't know how to explain it. You're really asking me questions where I'm like, I don't even know. I think...
Do you just feel like that person can't show up with the same level of maturity and depth and respect and support that you're capable of? Is that kind of
recently,
like you can't be equal partners?
Yeah, kind of. I just had I was just dating this guy for a little while, like probably like 6 months just recently, and he was just so overdramatic and emotional. Like anytime we would have a disagreement or something, he would try to break up. And it's like, dude, and it would be over the smallest shit ever. Like I was like, oh,
don't put butter on my toast, bitch.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from.
It's right though.
I'm stupid.
It's true. Though.
I said no butter. How many times do I have to? garlic butter or nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh. No, that, here's another thing though. So like I said, I do think I believe the world tends to organize itself around us based on how we show up. So how is it that you commit yourself to showing up in relationships? You know, like from the get-go, like
relationships is like my weak talking point. I don't know what to say.
Think.
I
think.
can't
This
immediately. I'm like,
this is your opportunity to think.
Who
makes you think? That's what I'm here for. I mean, you don't have to. You can tell me to fuck off.
You just don't know. Like, nothing's coming in my brain. It's like mute.
Maybe you should build a concept for that. Just an idea, you know, like to establish some conviction for yourself, how it's important to show up. So, like, cause how can you move through a relationship with any sense of integrity if you haven't established conviction for yourself?
Yeah.
Hard hitting questions, right?
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
Sorry, you got in the car with me for an hour. What the hell was I supposed to do? Listen to you talk business the whole time?
That would have been enjoyable, right?
It was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. I know, I saw you chuckling up there a couple times.
It was some of it was funny.
Literally, like, I just need to send all this shit to my assistant before I get out.
You have an assistant? Ooh.
Yeah, for my
Look at you go.
Counter.
Crack the whip. Get on it.
Stop. I think that's everything, right? ERB, contract buy and sell, post-closing occupancy, counter proposal. Yeah, that's everything.
Sounds like a fucking dissertation.
I think
I'm sure it was a list.
I can't remember, but I think that's everything.
Sorry, I distracted you.
No, it's okay. It was good because this car ride like went by so quick because we were chatting it up.
Yeah, I wish we had more time to chat. But I do want to ask you this. So I actually do a podcast.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this conversation, can it go on there?
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is my journal. It's a lot of the sad boy shit. But it's Do I Look Like a Steve with underscores in between each word.
Oh, I can't do that. Will you search my Instagram?
Yeah. But so my podcast is linked in my Instagram. It's a new project, but what I do is it's all just kind of candid conversations from my Uber rides. And I do a black screen and blurt out the names or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's just me talking with random people, about this. It's called It's Nothing Personal.
That's cool.
So wait out. Let me search yours. What is yours? What?
I have two accounts. One's my personal and one's my real estate.
Which one?
Give a follow to both. I'll follow you back on
to both.
Yeah.
All right. Double dip it. I see you.
Double dipping. Oh my gosh, let me get your vape and give it back to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Someone stole your vape, dude. Like.
Well, I don't. You are the first person I've ever done this for. So, but I don't get hour rides very often. But yeah. Are you cool with me putting this up there?
Yep. Do whatever.
Yeah. I think this has been like a very impactful conversation. I literally teared up. I don't know if you noticed.
Aww,
I did. Yeah, no, that was
sweet. Thank you. You're gonna make me tear up.
You touched my heart.
Follow me. I'll follow you back.
I already followed you.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'll message you if you don't.
I'll do it as soon as I get my coat.
All right. Bye. Have a good day. Get some rest. Smoke some weed.
Woo!
Later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.